Buhari critic, Femi-Fani Kayode will die soon, Nigerian pastor in America predicts. The death of vocal President Buhari critic, Femi-Fani Kayode has been predicted. A pastor in Maryland, United States of America said Femi Kayode star might die soon. Pastor Masadi Femi, a pastor in Maryland, United States of America has predicted the death of a former Minister of Aviation and a critic of President Buhari. The pastor who predicted the death of the outspoken politician said Femi Kayode star might die soon. He however emphasized his prediction, citing some instances from the Bible. The pastor who predicted the death of the outspoken politician said Femi Kayode star might die soon. He said, "I have never met Mr. Femi-Fani Kayode in my life, but have read some of his write-up in the papers. There are some of his views I do not share, but at times reason with some of his cogitation. I saw his immediate political future recently, but I am sad to report that his star may dim so soon, if he doesn't pray and change course. Here is what the Holy Spirit is telling us to tell Mr. Femi Kayode." After the death of Saul, David returned from striking down the Amalekites and stayed in Ziklag 2 days. On the third day, a man arrived from Saul's camp with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he came to David, he fell to the ground to pay him honor. "Where have you come from?" He answered, "I have escaped from the Israelite camp." "What happened?" David asked. "The men fled from the battle," he replied. "Many of them fell and died. And Saul and his son Jonathan are dead." Then David said to the young man who brought him the report, "How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead?" "I happened to be on Mount Gilboa," the young man said, "and there was Saul, leaning on his spear, with the chariots and their drivers in hot pursuit. When he turned around and saw me, he called out to me, and I said, 'What can I do?' He asked me, 'Who are you?' 'An Amalekite,' I answered. Then he said to me, 'Stand here by me and kill me. I'm in the throes of death, but I'm still alive.' So, I stood beside him and killed him, because I knew that after he had fallen he could not survive. And I took the crown that was on his head and the band on his arm and have brought them here to my lord." Then David and all the men with him took hold of their clothes and tore them. They mourned and wept and fasted till evening for Saul and his son Jonathan, and for the army of the Lord and for the nation of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. David said to the young man who brought him the report, "Where are you from?" "I am the son of a foreigner, an Amalekite," he answered. David asked him, "Why weren't you afraid to lift your hands to destroy the Lord's anointed?" Then David called one of his men and said, "Go, strike him down." So, he struck him down, and he died. For David had said to him, "Your blood be on your own head. Your own mouth testified against you when you said, 'I killed the Lord's anointed.'" 2 Samuel 1-1:15. This demands for wisdom and spiritual understanding. Nage.com had recently reported that Femi-Fani Kayode recently questioned the whereabouts of President Buhari. Most columnists, writers and public commentators have shied away from doing so, but today yours truly will treat a matter and pose a question that is in the hearts and minds of many both within and outside Nigeria. The question is whether President Muhammadu Buhari, remember him, is actually dead or still alive. And, assuming that he is still alive, Is he lost to the world in a vegetative state and deep coma? Is he suffering from an extreme and crippling form of dementia, or is he lucid, functional, rational and clear thinking? These are the relevant and poignant questions that many are seeking answers to, yet this whole matter and everything that flows from it, for some strange and inexplicable reason, is shrouded in the utmost secrecy and subterfuge.